अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। Bhakti, devotional service, is very well known nowadays everywhere. Thousands of devotees around the world, they are chanting Harinam, reading Bhagavad Gita, spreading the message of Krishna, spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam everywhere. Every town and village, everywhere now, Harinam Sankirtan going on and devotional service is going on. Everywhere devotees practicing. So many devotees nowadays visible to everyone, in social media, in television, in everywhere. So we'll discuss something which is very common nowadays you see. What is that bhakti? That bhakti which is called devotional service, sarvapadhi binirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesam sevanam bhakti uchyate. In Narad Pancharatra, which Rupa Goswami has quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that sarvapadhi binirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam, that one should go above all the designations. We are identifying with this body, with this society, with so-called identity. And when somebody will go beyond this and give up, be free from all types of material designations, and then situated in a pure spirit soul, that I am the spirit soul, I am servant of Krishna. Hrishikena Hrishikesam, when he engages all his senses in the service of Krishna, that is called bhakti. This is general definition. And Rupa Goswami has given very beautiful definition, Annabhilasta Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anabritam. It is about highest type of devotional service. But we see, previously there were not so many devotees in few hundred years ago or thousands of years ago. That time also so many devotees were there. But devotees numbers we see is very, very less. But nowadays you see devotees numbers are so much. But the standard of devotion, the standard of bhakti is quite different than the previous ancient times and now. The time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in time of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, that time devotee standard, bhajan standard was different. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving instruction, Trunabdapi Sunichena Tarorabi Sahisna. One should be very, very humble and should be respectful to others and be tolerant like tree. So these qualities a devotees should have Vaishnava. And so who is chanting Harinam, which engage in devotional service, he should have these qualities. But nowadays you see this is lacking. Even devotees, when we go to some temple, big project, big temple, hundreds of devotees. Previously, the way they used to greet devotees, as soon as see a Vaishnava, that time they pay obeisances in the ground and offer prayers. Bancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubevacha patitanang pavane. Oh Vaishnava, please purify me. I am fallen, I am your servant. But nowadays, as if they have forgotten this, that bancha kalpataru, these are forgotten. Even some devotees, they are so-called, they have tilak, they have mala and everything. But they have forgotten who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is his standard? and what is his ideology, what is his teachings. Even you have forgotten who Chaitanya is. So like this we see, if we observe the standard of devotion, the standard of bhajan, standard of bhakti is very, very low nowadays, low graded. Previously the bhajan standard was very, very, very high. Nowadays, the more and more we are increasing in numbers, quantity, but the quality of our bhakti has completely gone down. It doesn't mean that there is not best Vaishnavas still existing. They are very, very rare. As Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasrasu kaschiti jatati siddhai jatatamaphi siddhanam kaschiti mang beti tattvata. Many, they are coming to this path, but very, very rare numbers. Koti karmi madhye eka jnani shreshta. Koti jnani madhye eka mukta jiva shreshta. Koti mukta madhye dullava eka Krishna bhakta. So many people practicing, coming to temple, practicing pious activities, following religious principles. But among them, mostly they are attached to karma, fruitive actions. That's why out of koti millions of karmis, one jnani who is seeking for real liberation, want to free from this material world of birth and death, he is very, very a jnani. And among all these jnanis, one person who is a liberated soul, he is very, very rare, who has attained perfectly the path, how to be free from this entangle of birth and death, how to stop this cycle of birth and death. He is very rare. And koti, out of millions of liberated souls, one Krishna Bhakta, a devotee of Krishna is very, very rare. That's why Krishna Bhakta, a devotee, a pure devotee, a devotee following the path of pure devotional service, they are always very, very rare in number. Nowadays, everywhere speaking so much Shastra, speaking Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Puranas, they're giving elaborate lectures. But what is there? They don't practice even 1% in their life. They only speak for others. They think this Gita, the Bhagavatam, and all the scriptures, it is for only giving lectures. But actually, our Guru Varga, Om Vishtupad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj used to say, this scriptures is not only to preach others, but for yourself, to adopt in the life. That's why real Acharya Achinoti ja Shastrartham Acharya Stapayitepi. They practice everything, collect the essence of Shastra and put into practice in their life. A real Vaishnava, a real Sadhu. Our Gurudev used to tell, who is the real Sadhu, real Vaishnava? Who practices himself. Sadhyati sadhayati cha bhakti. He first practices in his life, everything put into practice. And then he preach others. That's why these things has not followed. We find everybody anyhow, they think themselves they are perfect. But somehow we find that they are bound by certain restrictions, certain boundaries. Some are bound, they think themselves perfect. So many organizations, so many institutions, so many temples, so many mutts are there. But Bhagavan Supreme Lord Krishna belongs to which organization? He doesn't belong to any organization. That's why not bound by any boundaries. One who wants to do pure bhakti, Suddha bhakti, he has to go beyond these boundaries. Otherwise bhakti within the boundaries, it cannot be pure bhakti, cannot be Suddha bhakti. It will be somehow conditioned. Devotees preaching so much about Rasa Shastra, very confidential pastimes. They're discussing, they're speaking to others. But really, we see, are they qualified for this? They have developed their standard. Nowadays, everybody, they're putting their logic, their argument, they prove that our organization is perfect. We are best devotees. the other organization saying, we are best devotees. Is everybody is perfect? Actually not. Who will decide what is perfect, what is not? If we see our practices, that we see our practice and what we speak and what we practice, what we think. If we analyze, compare, then we can find that a real devotional service is far above. Our Gurudev Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj to tell, nowadays devotees, who are they practicing bhakti? Actually, they are very, very far from this ocean of bhakti. What to speak of far from the ocean of bhakti? Even they are very, very far from the bank of ocean of bhakti. Very, very far. They cannot see even what is bhakti is. That's why this is time. We should understand this, our limitations. We should understand this. We try to cultivate pure devotional service, pure bhakti, so that our life will be successful. And in next class, we'll understand very clearly. We try to analyze and understand what is the conditions, what is the boundaries, why we are so much limited, our bhakti is not growing, whether the present status what we are following, is it helping us? By this our bhakti is growing, is not growing. That's why we'll clearly analyze and then try to understand. I will try to follow that pure path of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one day we'll come to the real standard of devotional service and make our life successful. Hare Krishna.